Dear students, I am happy to welcome you all to the course on Statistical Methods for Psychological Research Part 2. In this lesson, we are going to learn chi-square for two-way classification variables, contingency table analysis. Let us look at our learning objectives in this lesson. To understand the concept of two-way classification, then you can prepare the contingency table for the bivariate frequency and also to compute the expected frequency for 2 by 2 and m by n contingency table. And finally, you can apply the chi-square test for the suitable statistical data. Now, let us start with our part 1, first part, and we will learn on preparation or formulation of bivariate frequency tables and two-way contingency tables. So, you can verify how we can prepare our two-way classification table in a stepwise procedure. A two-way frequency table, also known as contingency table, is a tabular representation of joint distribution of two categorical variables. It shows the frequency or count of observations for each combination of categories from the two variables. Let us see the stepwise procedure. Number 1, we will identify the variables, that is determine the two categorical variables that you want to analyze and understand their categories. Then for example, you can see some variables here: gender and occupation, or country of origin and political party affiliation. That is, in gender you will go with male and female, two different options. In occupation you can go with many number of options. Similarly, for country of origin and political party affiliation, where you can frame a table. The next thing is to collect the data, gather the data that includes information on both the variables for each observation. Ensure that you have complete and accurate data for both the variables. Let us can go for creating a cross tabulation. Arrange the data in a cross tabulated format, which you can see as an example further, where the rows represent one variable and the columns represent the other variable. Each cell in the table will show the frequency or count of observations falling into specific combination of categories. Then calculate the frequencies, count the number of observations in each cell of the cross tabulation. These frequencies will represent the number of occurrences for each combination of categories. Then summarize the frequencies, that is calculating the total of rows and columns, and finally you can also obtain the grand total for total table. These sum totals provide information on the marginal distribution of each variable. And also analyze the relationship while choosing the two different variables. Let us examine how they have been related as the frequencies and patterns in the table to understand the relationship between the variables. Then look for the associations, dependencies or patterns that emerge from the data. Also, if you want, you can calculate the percentages or proportions, which can be made as row percentage, column percentage. That is, optionally you can compute within the table for better understanding of the distribution of categories. This involves dividing the frequency in each cell by total sample size or appropriate row or column total. Bivariate frequency tables and two-way contingency tables allows you to visualize and analyze the joint distribution of two categorical variables. They also provide insights into the relationship, association or dependence between the variables and can be further analyzed using statistical tests such as chi-square test. This will help in evaluating the significance of the relationship. Let us can go with the example here. Let us have been made with two different examples, one as the cross table, one as the normal table. Here I have been chosen the example which I represented earlier, that is gender and occupation, where in gender I have been chosen as a male and female here. Similarly, for occupation we went with white collar, blue collar and other, where here the observed frequency has been represented. Similarly, the expected frequency has represented here as a values. Now you can see the second table, which will be somewhat more interesting as the cross table. Here I have been chosen hair color and eye color, whereas hair color as classified as 3, that is fair, brown and black, you can see over here. Similarly, the eye color also classified as 3 cases, blue, grey, brown. Here the each frequency is called as your observed frequencies, and each number will represent the meaning of 2. Now we can understand the 15 represents that 15 number of persons are having fair hair color and blue eye color. In the same way, you can see this 5, that is 5 number of persons are having brown hair color and blue eye color. So each observation will speaks about 2 different attributes here. Similarly, I can go with another thing as here you are having the last value as 20. This 20 represents that 20 number of persons are having black hair color and brown eye color. Dear students, let us summarize the present part 1 in this lesson. We have been studied about the two-way frequency table, how to create the two-way frequency table in 2 different formats, that is in a normal format and also in a cross tabular format. I am confident that you understood all the concepts which we covered in the present lesson. We will continue in the next video. Thank you.